a regional jewelry center that has it all and does it all. Welcome to the house that doing right by you built. Aiken Augusta's Windsor Jewelers. And this, our video tour of just some of what you'll find here. Windsor Jewelers Today. And to help us do that, here's your host, Anna Christina.
Hi, welcome to Windsor Jewelers Today. I'm Anna Christina, and you and I are going shopping. Our first stop, Windsor's largest in the Southeast, Engagement Center, home to more than 5,000 beautiful rings. What surprises me most is that couples today can have a Windsor green box engagement for under $1,000. I know, right? But here's the proof. Windsor engagement rings for less than, well, a rent payment.
A lot of the joy in finding that ring that speaks to the love of your life is imagining what it'll look like and then deciding what you want it to look like and then finding it. With nearly 5,000 rings in stock and around 10,000 diamonds in-house, who do you think is going to have it? Augusta's Windsor Jewelers. Does your budget happen to be under $1,000? You won't believe the number of stunning choices Windsor can show you at that price point. Or if it's more about big look and less about price, there's no limit to what Windsor can show you. And what about price? Windsor's living proof that when folks like you comparison shop, they end up here. Every ring style, every diamond cut, all making certain that your ring will be a brilliant cut above those cookie cutter mall and website rings. Come find the ring you're dreaming of at Aiken Augusta's Engagement Place.
So there you have it, a Windsor engagement or anniversary ring starting at under $1,000. Yes, you can afford to come to Windsor. Wouldn't it make sense that a regional jewelry center that has it all and does it all would save you even more with their own brand of engagement rings? Let's take a look behind the scenes on how Windsor's signature series comes to be. Only at Windsor would you see this. Right now on display in Windsor's first floor showroom for sale, with all proceeds going to the charitable Kazanjian Foundation. This cigarette case owned by Clark Gable, and this tiara rumored to be owned by Princess Grace of Monaco and worn by Madonna in her wedding to Guy Ritchie, and lots more pieces just like them. Still to come, all of what's new at Pandora when Windsor Jewelers Today continues.
This watch has seen moments that last a second and moments that last forever. It's seen record-setting performances and the coming of the next generation of greats. Yet it's not until we look back that we understand that at those very moments, we were standing on the edge of gulfing history. It doesn't just tell time, it tells history.
Available at Windsor Fine Jewelers.
Keeping your jewelry looking as stunning as the day you brought it home might require a little help from career professionals who know just what needs to be done. And that's where Windsor shines. So how can we help you? For openers, anytime you need your jewelry cleaned, bring it on by. While you wait, we will take care of it. You and your jewelry will leave Windsor like it's a brand new day. Or maybe one of the prongs holding your diamond could use a retip. Or the whole head replaced. Maybe your ring has grown a little snug and could use some resizing. Or with a process we call re-dipping, we can make it look as fresh as the day you got it. And how about that important anniversary coming up? You know, when the two of you were just starting out, you weren't able to afford what you really wanted back then. But now, well, Windsor has more than 4,000 rings to look over for you to find the one that speaks only to you. Or maybe the same is true with that first diamond. Of course, back then it was the thought that counts, but now Windsor has more than 10,000 diamonds in-house to finally fulfill those diamond wishes of yours. Think about it. Put it all together, and you have the finest craftsmen and the widest selection of jewelry services to be found anywhere. Simply, all the know-how behind the oh wow. So what can we do for you? The incomparable array of jewelry services at Augusta's Windsor Jewelers.
Keep in mind, if you see something you like here on the show, you can check it out in person at Windsor, 6 days a week, all the way until 9 each evening. And Windsor's state-of-the-art e-commerce website is always at your service at windsorfinejewelers.com. Even though it's been true since 1998, a lot of you are still surprised to learn that Windsor's second floor is a sales floor, and even more beautiful things to look at, including the jewelry of Pandora. And Windsor has a second Pandora store at Augusta Mall. Always new, always Pandora. Always fresh, always uniquely you. Pandora, out on the upper level at Augusta Mall and right here on Windsor's second floor. Thanks for joining us here on Windsor Jewelers today. I'm Anna Christina. Windsor's selection of David Yurman pieces is #1 in the Southeast, and in the mix is David Yurman for him, called the Anvil Collection. David Yearman for guys? You bet. But David has a whole new line for the ladies, too. And we'll take a look next when Windsor Jewelers Today continues.
A lot of stores have remount events. For us, a remount event is every day. We have over 4,000 rings that we can put our stone in or your stone in. We can certainly take your center diamond and put it into a brand new mounting. We also can take your existing center diamond, match it for a side stone, and put a larger center into a new ring, but you still have your original there. So if you come on in, we've got an entire staff that's going to help you find the exact ring you're looking for.
If you'd like to Instagram your exciting green box moment, we'd love to see it. Hashtag Windsor Fine Jewelers. That'll do it. And Facebook? You bet. Come join us. We've talked about what makes a regional jewelry center and how Augusta's Windsor Jewelers checks every box. And one of those boxes is offering the collections of David Yearman. And here for the first time, we're able to show you their brand new Continuance collection.
If you haven't seen Windsor's stunning pearl collection lately, why not take a lunch hour and come on by? I think you'll be amazed. I mentioned at the top of the show that we'd point out once-in-a-lifetime gifts for guys every now and then. And next, that's where we're headed. You can't imagine what master craftsmen have thought to do with collector knives, with writing instruments, and with men's accessories at William Henry Studio.
At William Henry, we work with 2 U.S. artisans who have taken that original Japanese art form of mokume gane and really propelled it forward in terms of patterning, in terms of alloy combinations, in terms of precision and beauty. The mokume can't be heat treated. It truly is a decorative metal. We use it on the frames of our pocket knives, in some cases on money clips. We love to use it as accents and or as full barrels on our writing instruments. It's beautiful to look at. We use various patinas and polishes to bring out the luster and contrast between the different alloys in each piece of metal. It is a decorative metal, but what I love about it is that we don't decorate on the metal. The metal itself is the decoration.
Behind the magic, there's a whole lot of genius and a little elbow grease. But by the time you light up a room with it, all that's left is the magic. From the place where magic is what we do. You know, since the beginning, Windsor Jewelers wanted to be more than just a jewelry store. We wanted to be a regional jewelry center. And that means we take care of every jewelry need imaginable. Even the ones that don't immediately come to mind, like when was the last time you had your jewelry appraised? You know, the insurance companies insist on that. We have what it takes here at Windsor to keep you up to date. And everybody knows when that important celebration is coming up that Windsor is the place for that gift for that celebration. But what if you need it engraved? We can do it. Need a piece of jewelry repaired? We can do it. Maybe you have a chain that needs soldering, or a treasured set of pearls that could use restringing. It just brings them back to life. We can do it here at Windsor Jewelers. Maybe a family heirloom could use some restoration. If it can be safely done, we can do it here at Windsor. And then how about the real fun of designing your own piece, right from your own imagination? We can do it. Just come ask us. And even though it seems the rest of the world has gotten out of this business, Windsor still buys jewelry you don't use anymore. And had you thought of watch repair? Any mechanism needs that every now and then. Windsor even has a certified Rolex repairman right here in-house. We can do it. Simply all the know-how behind the oh wow. So how can we help you? Here at Augusta's Windsor Jewelers.
Welcome back to Windsor Jewelers Today. I'm Anna Christina. Just a reminder, Windsor is open every day but Sunday all the way until 9 each evening. And our e-commerce website is open all the time at windsorfinejewelers.com. Check it out. Oh, and after November 1st, we're open 7 days a week. John Hardy is a great story. A baby boomer who was doing that see the world before settling down thing until he arrived in Bali and never came home. When you're a regional jewelry center, you have a definitive collection of John Hardy, and that's what you'll find here at Windsor Jewelers. So far on Windsor Jewelers Today, we've shown you Windsor's vast array of engagement rings for under $1,000. We've shown you what's new at Rolex and David Yurman, and now we're going to take a peek under the hood, go behind the scenes, and show you the inner workings of a great watch.
The 1930s was a watershed decade for automobile technology. The automobile had captured the public imagination. It was the machine man's dreams were made of. British daredevil Sir Malcolm Campbell, known as the Speed King, set 9 world land speed records, 5 of them on the beach at Daytona, Florida, driving his famous Bluebird. He was the first man to break the 300 miles per hour mark, wearing his trusted Rolex Oyster. As motorsport evolved, the demand for a watch that drivers could use to time their laps and measure speeds was growing exponentially. Rolex had been producing wrist chronographs since the early 1930s. By the end of the decade, they launched the Oyster chronograph with its patented waterproof case. Its durability and accuracy, combined with a tachymetric scale on the dial to measure average speed, made it the incomparable timing device for race car drivers. Through the decades, cars were getting faster, designs were getting sleeker, and endurance racing was gaining in popularity. In 1962, Daytona International Speedway launched the first edition of the event that would become the premier endurance race in North America, the 24 Hours of Daytona. A year later, in 1963, Rolex introduced a new generation chronograph. It was called the Cosmograph. It featured inverse color schemes for the main dial and subsidiary dials, and its tachymetric scale was now engraved on the bezel. These changes greatly enhanced legibility for racing drivers, who needed their timings and average speeds quickly and easily. As the official timepiece of the Daytona International Speedway, Rolex awarded a watch to the winners of the landmark endurance race. The new chronograph became a much coveted trophy. Soon the word Daytona was added on its dial. It became the Cosmograph Daytona. Screen idol Paul Newman, it may come as news to some, was a highly accomplished racing driver and team owner. He wore a Rolex Daytona with a specific dial, which has been informally named after him. Racing legend Sir Jackie Stewart, the Flying Scot, has been a long-time champion of Rolex and served as the Grand Marshal at the 50th anniversary of the Rolex 24 at Daytona. Tom Christensen, who holds the record for the most wins of the 24 Hours of Le Mans, is also a fan of the Daytona. For the new millennium, Rolex introduced a new high-performance self-winding movement for the Cosmograph Daytona, Caliber 4130. In its ongoing commitment to motorsport, in January 2013, Rolex became the official timepiece and global partner of Formula One. The Rolex Cosmograph Daytona is a timing device of superior stature. Its accuracy, efficiency, and reliability make it one of the finest examples of the timekeeping art. A classic instance of form following function, yielding an astonishing result.
Well, did you see anything you liked? Wouldn't the next step be stopping by here on Washington Road in Augusta to see it in person? Take a lunch hour or see us online at windsorfinejewelers.com. That was fun. Thanks so much for looking in. I'm Anna Christina, and I hope we can do this again soon at Windsor Jewelers today.